From a game that featured the current GOAT and the future GOAT at quarterback to a game that literally had GOATs playing quarterback, all due respect to the quarterbacks involved. What's the saying? If you have two quarterbacks, you have none.
None.
I got to twist. If you have no quarterbacks, you have none.
Right.
And that's what the Broncos had because of the COVID-19 protocols. Very simple situation. Jeff Driscoll tested positive last week and is part of the contact tracing, is part of the analysis. And this is actually something that the Broncos self-reported. They saw surveillance video from the quarterback room. They saw that the quarterbacks were gathered there. It was an approved meeting. Now, some are mobilizing to blame the Broncos for everything and say it was an unsanctioned meeting. I'm told it was an approved meeting. It's in writing. It was approved. But at some point during that meeting, an issue with the masks.
Right.
Broncos saw it on the video. They sent it to the league. Some 30 hours later, the Broncos found out you don't get to have any of your quarterbacks tomorrow. They found out just before practice on Saturday. They're doing a walkthrough. They're finalizing everything. Oh, sorry, your other three quarterbacks not named Jeff Driscoll, your starter Drew Lock and his backups, they're out. They're gone. You got to find somebody else to play quarterback tomorrow, and we're not bending. And at that point, I'm surprised the line only went to 15. I'm shocked that it wasn't 20 or 25 when you have Kendall Hinton, a practice squad receiver who got beat out for the quarterback job at Wake Forest once we knew he was playing with 1 day to prepare for it, going against one of the best defenses in the NFL. Of course they're going to get blown off the field, and they did.
They did. I mean, that was insane to watch, first off. I mean, it really was. Denver fought hard. Their defense kind of kept them in there for the first quarter or whatever, but there's only so much they can do. I mean, when you're back on the field every fourth play, eventually you're going to wear down as the lesser football team. But, I mean, this is the great example, Mike, and this is why, we've talked about it so much. This is, hey, players, you got to compete with yourself this year, even when you're out of the facility all the time or in the facility, whatever it is. You just got to be on the ball all the time to make sure you're available to play football. And, yeah, the quarterbacks in Denver got careless, and they're the ones that gave this team the loss. I'm not saying they would have won if Drew Lock was out there or whatever, but they gave them the loss by being careless inside the meeting rooms, breaking protocols. It stinks. I understand everybody gets relaxed every now and then, but this is the way the world is right now, and you get a big L for that.
A couple of points real quickly. Can we put the graphic back up? Kendall Hinton, first quarterback with more interceptions than completions since 1998. It was the first game since Tim Tebow's Broncos of 2011 where the quarterback had no completions at all in the first half. And it reminds me of the Nathan Peterman stat line from a few years ago when he was playing for the Bills against the Chargers.
Yeah.
When you took his numbers and you ran them through the passer rating calculator as if he was intending to throw the ball to Chargers players, he had a higher passer rating than he did while intending to throw the ball to Bills players. That's how bad it was that day for Peterman. But at least Peterman knew he was going to play quarterback that day and had been drafted to be a quarterback. Hinton, undrafted as a receiver, gets thrust into it. I felt badly for him. For a while, it looked like it was going to be Royce Freeman. Phillip Lindsay took several snaps at quarterback until he got injured, and it was a mess. Here's Vic Fangio, to your point, though, talking about his own disappointment in the behavior of his quarterbacks that resulted in them abruptly being told, thou shalt not play on Sunday.
Well, I was disappointed on a couple levels in that our quarterbacks put us in this position, our quarterbacks put the league in that position. We count on them to be the leaders of the team and, leaders of the offense. And those guys made a mistake, and that is disappointing.
There's tension between the league and the teams as it relates to the league's plans for dealing with the pandemic,
right,
and the team's execution of the plan. And I've noticed a trend this year, and I know there are some coaches around the league who aren't happy about this. Anytime there's an issue, the league aggressively blames the team, blames the players, and piles on. And I think the Broncos, even though Fangio was a company man, not Broncos company, but NFL Incorporated company man, saying what he said, I know there's some frustration about how the league jumped on them and blamed them and ultimately refused to give them a day or two to get their quarterbacks back and postpone the game. But look, the NFL made it clear, Chris, in October to all the teams, competitive concerns do not matter.
Yeah.
You are going to be expected to play if you have no quarterbacks, if you have no linemen, if you have no kickers, if you have no anything, if you have no coaches, whatever it may be, you better figure it out and you better be ready to go, because it's on you if you have guys on the COVID-19 reserve list and you believe that you can't field a competitive team. We don't care if it's not competitive. You just have to field a team, because we've got 256 boxes to check this year, and we're putting a check mark in that damn box for this game.
I know.
Unless there's an uncontained outbreak. That's the difference, because people still can't understand, because the league really hasn't come out and said it. The Baltimore game got postponed twice and could be postponed still a third time because of an outbreak that has not been fully contained. If it's just this guy's positive and this guy's a close contact, so he's automatically out, and this guy's a positive and these guys are, then we're still going forward with the game.
Yeah, I know, and I get that, but this is where I get frustrated as an ex-football player. This is where it really pisses me off, for lack of a better way to say it. All players, coaches, do right. You did wrong. Oh, wait, there's kind of a start of an outbreak in Baltimore. Well, it's a big Thursday night game. Hold on, you guys can go in the facility one more day. It's okay. One more day. Oh, it was okay for you. Oh, it was okay for you guys to bend the rules and fudge them. Oh, okay. Oh, but then you're going to throw out and be like the hammer when a player or a coach has a mask down a little bit. That, to me, is where I go, blah, 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 shut the hell up, NFL.
Well, but look, that's one of the reasons why the outbreak happened. They had every reason to know as of Sunday night that they had done the tracing. I think they knew by Sunday night that they had the strength coach had already tested positive. And I think anytime you have a strength and conditioning coach who tests positive, that is red alert, sound the alarm.
Yes,
because
code
that
red.
guy interacts with everybody.
Right.
And so they knew it was coming. And that's what was stunning to me, that they were allowed to practice and be in the facility Monday and Tuesday, because they wanted to get that Thursday night game in. And it was only on Tuesday when they got more indications of additional positives that they said, we can't do this. And frankly, Chris, and we'll talk more about the Ravens situation coming up, I still am not sure this game's going forward. I'm starting to get the sense that there are two camps in the league office. There is the damn the torpedoes camp, and there is the science over football camp, safety over checking the box camp. And I don't know who's going to win, but that's still churning, and the evidence is still rolling in every day with more positives or not. And so I'm still not 100% sure the game's going to happen. I think that there's starting to be some wavering, I believe, on the part of the medical people. The question is, can they get others who have final say over whether or not the game will be played to waver as well and push this to what would be the first game of the 18th week of the season, which the NFL is trying desperately to avoid. We haven't been together since Wednesday. A lot's happened since then, but the NFL is trying to desperately avoid putting any game at Week 18, because then for the remainder of the season, for the Ravens and the Steelers, you have no wiggle room for them or for the teams they may be playing.
Right.
You can't put another game involving either team in Week 18. So that automatically becomes the first game that is gone for good.
Yeah, that's scary, and you're right. You don't really think about the ripple effect sometimes of that, and you're trying to not, go to the danger zone of we go, just one game, Week 18. Well, what happens if the Ravens play a team in a few weeks who has an outbreak? Now they have to make 2 games up or whatever. Scary, and I'll still say this: I feel bad for the Steelers. There you are, 10-0. Here's another hey, screw you, we're going to change the schedule. I know you guys have done everything right, and I know they'll be ready to play and have no excuses, but it's unbelievable what they've had to go through this year with first the Tennessee Titans and now this, and that they're still 10-0 and doing well. That says a lot to Mike Tomlin and his leadership.
Well, and if they get on the field tomorrow night, it's going to be 11-0. I would be stunned. Of course, I've been stunned several times already this year, but I would be beyond stunned if the Ravens find a way to win that game after everything they've been through and with so many players not available, from Lamar Jackson to Mark Andrews to Willie Snead to Matthew Judon to this guy to that guy to that guy. All right.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.